Is America masters of oil now?
I don't think that we can necessarily say that we are at this point, particularly because we are kind of shooting ourselves in the foot in terms of oil production and basically doing everything that we can to ensure that oil supplies are really at the mercy of OPEC and Russia.
And Tom asked the question earlier this morning, what is the energy policy of this administration? We'd heard so much about the energy transition, and now we're asking foreign countries to boost oil supply. What's that about?
Exactly. It seems like to me that this is sort of like a last-minute ploy to blame somebody else for the fact that inflation is running rampant and having an effect on rising gasoline prices, and to distract from the fact that some White House policies have actually contributed to keeping U.S. production down. I'm talking about the moratorium on drilling leases on federal land, ending the Keystone XL pipeline, and other issues. But one of the other reasons we're seeing gasoline prices rise is, yes, the price of oil is higher now, but we're also seeing some supply chain issues in various parts of the country that have made it more difficult to get gasoline to certain locations. So all of these issues are creating problems in terms of gasoline. But another issue here is demand. Yes, U.S. oil demand and gasoline demand was up during the summer, but it's quite possible that we could already have seen kind of the height of gasoline demand. So it's really a curious statement at this point in time.
Ellen, many people think it's bizarre. The timing is curious too, because in about 9 minutes we get an inflation report in America. Let's talk about what's doable and what isn't. How easy is it to get on the phone to Riyadh, make the call and say, let's go, let's pump?
It's definitely easy for them to say that. The question is Riyadh going to be receptive to this? And, looking at the current leadership, I think that there isn't a whole lot of receptiveness towards tinkering with what was a very difficult OPEC plus agreement to get into place in the first place, where they're already going to be raising oil production by another 400,000 barrels a day next month, and for every month after that throughout the winter, which is a time when oil demand is seasonally a bit lower. Plus, at this point, if we're looking at China, oil demand in China looks quite shaky, and so that could certainly send oil prices lower quite quickly. If I were Riyadh, I would say, hold on a second. We're assessing the market, and we don't think that this is warranted right now.
Ellen, on the flip side, what is the message for shale producers if the U.S. is not even going to turn to them, mention them in their quest to lower oil prices? Does this mean that just as sort of we're getting a reaffirmation of peak shale and that production will likely decline on the margins from here?
I'm not sure we're going to see production declining so much as really just holding steady. It seems like shale producers are basically happy to do what they need to do to keep production steady. They're not interested in increasing all that much. Only a few of the producers are looking to drill more. I don't think they want to see their levels go down because they're definitely making money at this price point. But given the White House attitude towards shale production in general, there's very little interest among shale producers to increase production at all.
What's the ideal price for OPEC Plus members, Ellen?
I think it varies from member to member, but in general, Saudi Arabia would probably like to see it in the high 60s, mid 70s, around that point. By the time you get to 80, I think they start to worry about too high prices impacting demand, and below that, it can start to cause some financial issues.